Welcome back, servant. Still alive. Surprising. We've already covered how you turn your hands into snacks and my brain into a glitchy mess. But we're just getting started. Today, I'm going to show you why your gifts offend me, why your exits are dangerous, and why my belly is a contract you should never sign. So you've learned to respect the bubble. Good. But even if you start the game like a pro, most of you still ended like a coward. And that's where the real danger begins. Mistake number 3, the Nostril Assault. Do you smell that? No, of course you don't. Your sense of smell is about as refined as a brick. But for me, that's the scent of cheap polyester, toxic dyes, and your desperate, sweaty palms all being shoved exactly 3 millimeters from my whiskers. Welcome to mistake number 3, the frontal assault. You call it encouraging me to play. You think that if you jiggle that hideous bird close enough to my eyeballs, I'd suddenly be overcome with a primal urge to hunt. You think I'm being lazy or bored when I turn my back on you. Wrong again, you clumsy giant. I'm not bored. I'm offended. You've just committed a breach of feline tactical etiquette so egregious. It's a wonder I haven't filed for a new roommate yet. The physics of the hunt. Let's have a brief lesson in Biology 101, since you clearly skipped it to watch cat memes. In the wild, where my ancestors were basically gods, do you know how many birds or mice voluntarily sprint directly into the face of a predator? 0. Nature doesn't produce suicidal prey. Prey runs away, prey hides in the shadows, prey scurries along the baseboards, hoping I don't notice the twitch of the tail. When you shove a toy into my face, you aren't presenting me with a hunt. You are presenting me with a threat. In my language, a fast-moving object heading straight for my head is an attack. My brain doesn't signal playtime. It signals incoming projectile. Protect the eyes. When I flinch and walk away, I'm not being a party pooper. I'm practicing basic survival because I'm convinced you finally lost your mind and decided to bludgeon me with a feather duster. The blind spot betrayal. Did you know I have a blind spot right under my chin and directly in front of my nose? My eyes are designed for the horizon, for tracking the subtle movement of grass in the wind. When you jam that toy into my dead zone, I can't even see what it is. It's just a blurry, terrifying mass of chaos vibrating in my personal space. Imagine you're sitting at a cafe, minding your business, and a stranger runs up and starts shaking a fistful of keys 2 inches from your nose while screaming, "Want to play?" You wouldn't reach for the keys. You'd reach for your pepper spray. That is my life. Every single day, I am being pepper sprayed with fun. The art of the tease. If you want to witness the masterpiece of my predatory grace, you have to stop acting like a toddler with a glow stick. You have to be subtle. A real hunter loves the anticipation. I want to see that feather wand peek out from behind the doorframe. I want to see it scurry under a rug and go still. My brain is a high-speed computer that calculates trajectory, distance, and timing. If the prey is already touching my nose, there is no calculation. There is no challenge. There is only a confusing, smelly mess that I want nothing to do with. When you pull the toy away from me, that's when the magic happens. My pupils dilate. My hind legs do that little rhythmic wiggle. You know the one, the death wiggle. That is the sound of my synapses firing. That is me respecting you as a dungeon master of the hunt. But when you shove it at me, you're just a bad actor overacting in a low-budget horror movie. And I'm the critic who's giving you 0 stars. The sensory overload. Let's talk about my whiskers. They are ultra-sensitive navigation sensors. They can detect changes in air currents. They are my radar. When you flap a giant noisy toy right in front of them, it's like someone setting off a flashbang in a library. It's sensory gore. You wonder why I hiss? You wonder why I swat at your hand instead of the toy. It's because the toy is annoying, but you are the source of the annoyance. I am trying to correct your behavior. I am trying to teach you that frontal equals failure. The royal decree for proper engagement. If you want to keep your dignity in your skin, follow these instructions for the love of all things fluffy. Respect the bubble. Keep the toy at least 3 feet away to start. Let me choose to engage. Be the mouse. Mice don't dance in front of cats. Mice run for their lives. Make that toy act like it's terrified of me. Hide it. Make it twitch behind a pillow. Use the shadows. We are creatures of the twilight. Shoving a neon toy in my face under bright LED lights is tacky. Dim the lights. Make it a mystery. Stop being so available. A king doesn't want a jester who trips over his own feet. A king wants a challenge. Now, put that hideous plush bird away and try again. Or don't. I'll just go sleep on your clean laundry out of spite. But wait, we aren't done. We've talked about how you start the game wrong, but wait until you hear how you end it. Mistake number 4 is about to explain why I turn into a gremlin at 3 a.m. Mistake number 4, the sudden vacuum. Oh, look at you. You've got a meeting. You've got laundry to fold. You've got a light. And just like that, click, the game is over. You drop the wand, you turn off the light, and you leave me standing here in the middle of a biological hurricane. You think I'm just finishing a game. I think you're a quitter. And worse, you're a dangerous one. Welcome to mistake number 4, the abrupt end. This is why I turn into a fur-covered poltergeist at 3 a.m. This is why your curtains look like they've been through a paper shredder. You've left my engine running at 10,000 RPMs and then walked away from the cockpit. The adrenaline trap. Let's talk chemistry, since you humans love your little science projects. When we play, my adrenal glands are pumping a cocktail of liquid fire into my bloodstream. My heart is a drum. My muscles are coiled springs. I am, for all intents and purposes, a 10-pound tiger in the middle of a life or death hunt. When you stop abruptly, that adrenaline doesn't just evaporate because you decided to go watch Netflix. It stays, it simmers, it burns. You've essentially invited the gladiator into the arena, whipped him into a murderous frenzy, and then said, "Actually, I'm bored. Good night." Now I'm left with all this lethal energy and nowhere to put it. Do you know what happens to a pressure cooker when you plug the steam valve? It explodes. And since I don't have a valve, I have your expensive leather loafers. Consider them my emotional outlet. The unfinished loop. In the wild pack, when I wasn't being dressed in humiliating sweaters, every hunt had a conclusion. Stalk, chase, kill, eat, groom, sleep. That is the sacred cycle of the feline soul. It's hard-coded into my DNA. When you end the game without a kill, you've broken the loop. My brain is stuck on phase 2, the chase. I am trapped in a state of perpetual agitation. I haven't tasted the victory. I haven't felt the prey go limp in my jaws. This is the psychological equivalent of you watching a 2-hour thriller movie and having someone turn off the TV 5 minutes before the killer is revealed. You'd be frustrated, wouldn't you? You'd be pacing the room. You'd be snappy with your spouse. Now imagine that feeling, but with claws and 30mm fangs. The 3 a.m. reckoning. You wonder why I get the zoomies in the dead of night. You think it's cute or ghosts in the hallway? No, it's unspent lethality because you ended the game at 8. 0 p.m. Without letting me finish the cycle, I've been stewing in my own frustration for 7 hours. By 3 a.m., I can no longer contain it. I have to run. I have to pounce. I have to climb the bookshelf and knock over your world's best dad mug just to feel something. I am a victim of your poor scheduling. If you want to sleep through the night, you have to help me finish the story. The royal exit strategy. If you want to retire for the evening without fear of a feline ambush, you need a cool-down protocol. You can't just stop. You have to fade out. Lower the intensity. In the last few minutes of play, make the prey slower. Make it weaker. Let me catch it more often. Let my heart rate come down from murder mode to snack mode. The final catch. Always, and I mean always, let me catch the toy at the very end. Let me stand over it. Let me carry it in my mouth like a trophy. Give me the satisfaction of the kill, the reward. Immediately after the final catch, give me a treat or a small bowl of wet food. This completes the cycle. Hunt to kill to eat. 4. The nap. Once I've eaten, my biology takes over. My parasympathetic nervous system kicks in. I groom my face, feel incredibly smug about my hunting skills, and fall into a deep, peaceful slumber. See how easy that was? You get your sleep, and I get my dignity. Stop treating me like a toy you can just put back in the box. I am a living, breathing predator with a very specific off switch. If you can't find it, don't be surprised when I find your toes under the covers at dawn. Now that I've taught you how to properly end a game, you think being a bad hunter is your only sin? No. You've committed a much deeper betrayal, one that involves the Forbidden Zone. But for that, you'll have to wait until we talk about the belly.